Okay, so this is the beginning. This is the official beginning of our novel portfolio, or sorry, our novel study unit. And this is the very first mini lecture attached to the novel. So we're going to move through an activity today that is called Judge a Book by Its Cover. And in particular, we should have our novels with us today, which is The Alchemist. So it's kind of a fun activity because we have this really popular phrase or idiom that says never judge a book by its cover or don't judge a book by its cover. But actually, if you know anything about the publishing industry, the covers are actually specifically kind of designed or engineered to catch our interest and also to tell us something about the contents within. So we're going to do exactly what we're not supposed to do, which is because isn't it kind of fun to sometimes to do things that are the when people are saying, hey, don't do that, as a kid you're kind of like, okay, well, why shouldn't I touch the stove? Well, once you touch the stove you burn your hand, then you know why. But there's that curiosity there, right? So I kind of created this activity to kind of try and capture some of that fun feeling of the irony of doing something that maybe we're told we shouldn't do. So today we're going to be judging a book by its cover. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is I want you to get your novel, the Alchemist. You should have it in front of you. The copy that we have ordered into the bookstore is a beautiful copy, 25th year anniversary edition, which has a lovely kind of orange and yellow coloring on the front, and kind of a cooler blue coloring on the back. And so we're going to move through looking at the different aspects that the publishers have prepared for us as the reader. So I want you to start with the front cover of the book. So what do you see? So we're going to move through a few questions here that you should look at, think about, and you should take some notes, some brainstorming notes on the side in your notebook, because this is all going to lead towards a writing activity. And in particular, we're going to start looking at one of our new tools that we can use on our learning website, VIU Learns. And in particular, we'll be starting to use our discussion board feature today. So what does the title mean to you? So you'll look at the title, read it, think about it. Does it have any connection to you? Do you understand the history of this title or the origin of this title? What does it mean to you? Second question. So take a look at all of the images that you can see on that cover page. So there's a bunch of different types of images that are there. What do these images reveal? And what can we predict as a reader when you look at them? What do they make you think about? What kind of predictions can we make about the content of the story from these images? Okay, for the front cover, here's the last question. So take a look at the style of the way everything is drawn, and the way everything is set up. And what does the style of those decorations that you can see there, what does it make you think of? And do you think this might be having any sort of a foreshadowing hint about what comes within the novel? So then collect all of your ideas of answering those questions in one of the boxes on your note page. You should make a box for the front cover, a box for the back cover, and boxes for the internal leaves. And what the internal leaves are is when you open that front cover, on the inside you'll see there's a little writing blurb on the inside of the front cover and also on the back cover. I call those the leaves, if you want to know my terminology. Okay, secondly, we're going to move on to looking at the back cover now. So flip your novel over and take a look at the coloring, the imagery, of course, but most importantly, do you agree with this statement? So you can read the quote on the back page. Next step, stop and think about it. Do you agree or disagree with this statement, and why? Finally, what does this help us to predict about the book, right? Because obviously, if there's just one thing on the back there, it's got to be powerful, it's got to be impactful, it's got to have some meaning towards the core theme, or some of the core ideas that we're going to find within this novel. Okay, so stop, take a moment, work through that back cover, those back cover questions, write down your brainstorm notes in your second box. Okay, now we'll take a look at the inside leaves. And on the leaf for the inside of the front cover is what we call a synopsis. And a synopsis is basically a very quick breakdown or summary of the main story, but it's still going to leave some things out to tease the reader, to try and draw us in so that we want to read it. And then also on the backside leaf, you're going to see both a picture of the author and a little bit of information about the author that helps us to know about who he is. So read the two leaves of both front and back covers. What did you learn about the story? So that'll be the front cover or the synopsis. What did you learn about the author? That'll be the back leaf, okay? Now I want you to stop, move through those steps, think it through, and write down your brainstorm notes in your third box. So you've got those 3 boxes set up. Now we'll move to the writing task. Oh, sorry, finally, one more question. How do you think this will change how you read The Alchemist? So that both the synopsis and the information about the author together, you can kind of synthesize those two. How does that inform your approach to the book? Okay, now we're moving into our writing task. So you're going to write a paragraph, and this is where that new feature on our website, the discussion board, will come into play. So take all of your notes that we've just talked about from these steps, and I want you to condense it into an opinion paragraph. So we haven't really covered off opinion paragraphs yet, but they're quite similar to a descriptive paragraph. Okay, so you're just going to take those notes and then try to cleanly and succinctly explain them. You can use I because you're explaining your opinion. So this is a paragraph where I'm okay with you explaining, I noticed this, or I think that this imagery means this. Okay, so I'm fully okay with that type of writing for this paragraph. So this is going to be a fairly brief, a fairly tight paragraph, just 150 to 250. I want you to try really hard to stick within our word limit. And then you're going to add your pre-reading opinion. We're going to call this a pre-read opinion to our novel discussion board. So let's take a look at what that will look like. So if we pop over here to our website, we've just been primarily using the content area, and you'll notice that all of the contents are here. We're going to be moving into module 4. I haven't put anything up there yet. You also know you're going to be familiar with our course homepage, right? This is where I always put the announcements up, which give us our task list for every day. So again, I haven't created the task list yet for today. It's Sunday night. I'm just doing these mini lectures in advance to set me up for the week. But we're moving to a new feature today. So I want you to go to the communication header on our main banner up here. So click on communication, and you can come down to discussions. And then you'll notice, so in this discussion, we've got a discussion list, and here is where we're going to add content to our novel study. So you'll notice here's our first topic, and this is our judge a book by its cover activity. So I will be, throughout the novel study, this will be a place where we can actually come to discuss the novel. And so you notice I've already started my first post here as a student. I've kind of put myself in as an example. So here we go. It says, after watching the mini lecture, which is that's what I'm making right now, right? Titled Judge a Book by Its Cover, you will compose a short paragraph of 150 to 250 words. This paragraph should include your findings from working through the mini lecture's instructions. So then if you're to click on this, right, and we go down, then you'll see here is the ability for you to post to start a new thread. So you can either start a new thread, which includes your paragraph, or you can also comment on one of the other paragraphs, right? So you can either, so if you go down here to more, actually, I don't have any replies or anything like that yet, but you can also reply to the thread if you want. Reply to the thread, that's an option for you. But up here, right, this is our judge a book by its cover. Judge a book by its cover right here. So what you're going to be doing is to add your paragraph in, you're going to become comfortable with this function here. So you're going to start a new thread. You're going to click on that. You're going to write the title, Judge a Book by Its Cover, just like I've done, and then put your name in brackets like that, and then you'll type out your 150 to 250 word paragraph in that box. So what it'll look like is it would look like this, right? So you would write in, Judge a book by its cover, as we've stated, and then your name goes in there, right? And then boom, you're going to jump right in here. You're going to tab in, and then you're going to say, oh, what happened there? I noticed, and then boom, 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 your writing continues from there. When you're done, you click post. So that is what's going to be attached as an assignment today. Once again, it's under the communication section, under discussions. And then you'll go down and click on Judge a Book by Its Cover. And then you're going to start a new thread. type in the title, put your name in brackets, and off you go, putting your paragraph in there. So you should have already written that paragraph in advance, and then you're going to add it as a new thread. Okay, wonderful. So good luck with that, everyone. This is a new portal. I will be online for our normal classroom hours tomorrow. If you need help, just email me. I'll be sitting ready. Awesome.